Greetings from the library cave. I am Aspen Dracaena, your friendly neighborhood Ice Dragon Bookwyrm VTuber. And this has been quite a weekend. My weekend actually started out... Hi, Panda. Also, I'm just going to point out, by the way, that Panda is very much here to mod today. It's not just because he's my boyfriend. He is actually here to keep an eye on chat to make sure people behave. Because I know this is a big deal right now. A big deal in the VTuber community. And Josie! Josie is in chat. Josie is my model sister. Her art model mama is the same as mine. And she is going to be debuting, I forget when. You can, Josie, please go ahead and put in chat when you are planning to debut so people know. But she's very sweet. I've only just talked to her this weekend, but she's really sweet. So I want to get one thing out of the way because this weekend did start very difficult for me. I didn't say it during my interview on Friday with Sarah about her book. I had to take my mother to the ER again. She's okay. Let me say that first. She's okay. And the music kicks in. They just wanted her to go in just to check because I had taken her to the ER before for a stroke risk. So they wanted to be extra careful and make sure she was okay, and that because she was feeling some similar symptoms to the last time she was there. So she's okay, she's doing fine, everything's okay. All good. Thank goodness. But of course after that, you know, I did my stream and then I found out about the Needy situation. To give you some background, I bought my model from Needy back in September of 2023. So even though I only debuted last year in August, I'd actually had the model for almost a year before I was able to use it due to internet issues, which have been resolved, obviously. So I bought it before she was going really heavy into doing her donations and giveaways and buying models and then rigging them and then giving them away or reselling them, you know, her whole process. She was definitely nowhere near as big as she became when I bought my model from her. From my experience initially, she seemed like somebody who cared to make sure that she was selling to people who are, you know, good people. That was important to her. Or at least that's what she said was important to her. Which, cool, you know? Because I'm not just an indie VTuber, I'm streaming for a company. And when we were looking at the model, I made sure to, you know, scan through some of her streams because she was using my model at the time. So the model I use is one that she had used for, I think, a couple months. You know, I've communicated with her a little bit, not heavily, didn't get really particularly close to her, just wanted to make sure things about my model were correct and, you know, all the normal stuff that anybody who has, you know, who buys a model would, you know, want to know. I thought, you know, what she was doing seemed pretty okay. Like, you know, I thought was kind of cool. Somebody wanted to do giveaways and, you know, make it easier for people who were new to VTubing to have a model that was not super expensive. You know, I think all of that sounds good. All of that sounds great. You know, people can test out being a VTuber with a less expensive model and decide if that's something they really want to do, because streaming is a big commitment. It really is. And I love my model, and, you know, I followed my model mama, Lisana, who is so sweet. I really like her a lot. She actually reached out to me this weekend too about the situation. I really like Lisana quite a lot too, especially because she's a fellow bookworm. So hearing about this situation with how much Needy had been marking up models, you know, the whole situation that was the instigator, of course, to this is that she bought a model for half the price and then upcharged it 2.5 times. So she bought it for $2,000 and sold it and was selling it for $5,000. You know, like, I'll put this in book terms because I do like my books. When you sell a used book, you don't usually sell it for more than the cover price unless it is a first edition collectible, you know. I think a lot of people are questioning now how much they paid. Yeah, it's like scalping Pokemon cards rather than retail. Yeah. It's really uncomfortable because, you know, I talked with my model mama and she thinks I was overcharged as well, which sucks. You know, I don't expect to get money back. I don't expect my company to get money back. But this is it's not okay to do stuff like this. If you're going to be selling models, hey Austin, if you're going to be selling models, you need to sell them with the full permission of the artist. You need to be making sure all of the terms of service add up. You know, I think for the most part she was rigging these models, so fairly, I would think it would be fair for her to charge for her work. But if she was charging more than the worth of her work and not checking in with the artists carefully enough, that's an issue. That is an issue. And, you know, when I talked with my artist, she was like, you know, you paid for the model, you should still use it. And yeah, terms of service is always important to read. Yeah. I've been thinking about this the whole weekend. Do I continue using my model as is? Lisana did nothing wrong, and her art deserves to be seen. So I don't want to give up my model because, you know, Lisana worked hard on my model, and I love it. I love it so much. It's beautiful. And in a way, not using the model just because Needy's name has been attached to it is unfair to Lisana and to those who created artwork that I've gotten already for my model. They didn't do anything wrong. So I was really debating whether or not to get a new rigger and just have my model re-rigged. I wanted to make sure I was not violating terms of service in this situation by getting a new rigger. So I am going to be double checking that. I'm already in talks with somebody about re-rigging my model. And here's the reason I've decided to re-rig. It is not necessarily because of the kind of scammy behavior, but it's something that came up a couple weeks ago on Twitter. Now, I hope you guys all understand, I spend way more time on Blue Sky than Twitter right now. I don't like how Twitter feels. So I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter other than to announce that I'm streaming or share my stream schedule. So a couple weeks ago, she was doing some kind of thing selling a model based on an Algonquin, I'm going to say folklore for lack of a better word, because according to Algonquin folklore, we do not say the name of this creature. The name starts with W, so I will just refer to it as W. I'm not going to say the whole word out of respect to their culture. Somebody pointed out to her that calling the model W was disrespectful of Algonquin culture. And her response was not good. Her response, and I've seen the screenshots, was that it's just a mythical creature, I don't believe in it, etc., etc. So here's the problem. Balance of Seven, the publishing company I stream for, we particularly publish works by people who are from marginalized communities. That includes BIPOC. So that includes Indigenous peoples. As a company, we cannot associate with somebody who would be disrespectful of Indigenous cultures in our branding. That goes against what we stand for. So while I was debating getting my model re-rigged, when I saw this situation today, which I had missed because, again, I haven't been on Twitter as frequently. I usually just pop in to announce my streams and leave because I don't like the negativity on the site. I didn't see this. I was not aware of this when that was going on. My bad, I guess, but you know, social media is what it is, and sometimes we miss things. I can't associate myself with somebody, nor can I associate the press with somebody who is not respectful of Indigenous cultures. I think that, to me, is worse. It's bad when you're scamming people, and I think a lot of people feel like it's been a very scammy situation. I think Needy thought she was doing the right thing. I don't think she realized that what she was doing was inappropriate, but I've seen a lot of stuff going on, and she'd been called out for quite a few things. You know, as a rigger, she should have known better than to complain about the person who rigged her model publicly in a stream, because she knows that could get back to the rigger and that could ruin that person's business. It's very unprofessional. It's very unprofessional. And I think sometimes, you know, people, you know, when we gain fame really quickly, and you know, we things happen so quickly, and we constantly have people saying, oh, you're great, you're perfect, you're wonderful, don't change a thing, you're doing great. We start to think we're infallible. And, you know, we can make mistakes, and we need to stop and really think about what we're doing, because well, here's the thing I always tell people. I do my best to treat other people respectfully, because I know not only do they deserve respect, but it also reflects back on me. You know, if I am not treating others respectfully, others are going to see that. I don't want to be somebody who is looked upon as like some horrible person. I don't expect everybody to like me, but I'm going to do my best to try to do the right thing. And I think that's what we should all do. In this case, I don't know if what happened is that Needy kind of let the popularity go to her head. Maybe she wasn't really thinking things through. You know, maybe there was some ignorance there. I don't know. But you can't double down on your ignorance. And, it's hard. I know I've had times in the past where I've said dumb things online, and I learned not to say them. But if somebody keeps doing the same thing over and over again, that goes past the point of, ignorance. That's when you have to start wondering, what is this person thinking? Why are they doing this? Are they just not, are they being blissfully unaware? Are they not trying to understand? And that's kind of hard. It's hard. We all mess up sometimes, but we just need to try our best to move forward and be better people, make better choices. And what happened was enough that I'm not sure if she'll make better choices. She said she's graduating, but it doesn't sound like she understands what the word graduating means, because graduating from being a VTuber is you stop doing everything. You stop streaming. You stop your social media related to the VTubing activities that you've been doing. She says she still is going to stream on Twitch, so I don't know. I don't think that's a smart move. I think it would be good for her to just completely step away, at least for a while, and maybe try to consider, doing something better. I don't know. It's hard to say in these situations too, because sometimes, I'll see people criticize left and right somebody who's done something wrong. Sometimes legitimately, sometimes not legitimately. And if you say sorry, it's not good enough. If you don't say sorry, well, you're just a jerk. If you continue posting on social media, you're a jerk. If you don't, you're running away. So, you can't win in this situation. You can't. But I think in this situation, she made enough bad choices that I think her stepping away is smart. It's the best choice she can make. So yeah. So for me personally, I'm in talks. Josie recommended her rigger. I also am in talks with Ocha, because I like how Ocha rigs things. And you all know Ocha, and I know Ocha, and I know I can trust him because he's actually my friend. So I'm talking with him as well to see if he can re-rig my model. Maybe he can do some fun things with it. Yeah, and Ocha did Panda's model. Ocha not only rigged Panda's model, but he fully created Panda's model. And frankly, Panda's model can do more than mine. Yeah, we all know the guy. Ocha's a sweetheart. Ocha's a wonderful person, and people should be watching him more. Shameless plugger for Ocha, because Ocha's so creative and just a really sweet, wonderful person. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to stop streaming while I'm waiting for a re-rig to happen. I don't have that option. Because again, I am not just an indie streamer, I am streaming for a company, and we're going to try to make things happen as quickly as we can. I really feel uncomfortable with not paying somebody for a re-rig, because that's their work, you know, and people deserve to be paid for their art. I'm a big believer in that. So I'll see what happens. I'll keep things updated, and you know, if Ocha feels comfortable, you know, maybe I can, you know, push people his way for some re-rigs as well after all this situation, because, you know, I think a lot of people are trying to figure out what to do, and it's very uncomfortable. So yeah, I've been thinking about this a lot this weekend. I actually didn't go to bed until 4 a.m. last night because I was trying to get a good hook on what was really going on and what was fair and what was not fair. I'm seeing a lot of people making this into drama rather than really addressing the problems. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Dippity. So Mr. Dippity just said, I don't know any member of the party involved, but I got the rough outline and I hope everything goes well for you. Thank you. Thank you. I think this is a really unfortunate situation because, you know, so many people, they just want to do their streams. They want to do their VTubing streams and feel good about their model and feel good about the person who rigged it. And, you know, we should all be able to feel like, I don't know, you can't always guarantee that you'll know exactly all the beliefs and politics and stuff behind a person. You know, you just don't know. You just don't know. So when you hire somebody to do your model, you don't know who they are, really, other than that they make a pretty model and they make them move so that we can do what I'm doing right now. But, you know, some things come out and you just have to make choices. And I think this is just going to have to be the choice I make that will get my model re-rigged. I'll let you know. I'll probably do something really cool, really fun, and be like, oh yeah, let's celebrate the new rig, haha. You know, we'll probably do a fun stream like that. Maybe I'll do something really silly, maybe do some, like, find some background pictures and do let's go traveling with this new rigged model, etc., etc. I don't know. I'll think about it. We'll do something fun. But either way, I want to reassure everybody, you know, anybody else who's here, who might be here or might see this in the future, if they are a rig sibling, please don't feel bad. If you choose to keep your model and keep the rigging, that is okay. Do not feel ashamed, because you paid for that model. You paid for your model. You know, that there's nothing for you to be ashamed of there. And if you do want to choose to get your model re-rigged, then do it too. You know, it's up to you to decide what you're comfortable with. And if somebody gives you any shit for using a model you got from Needy, you know, that's their problem. It's really their problem. You don't deserve shit for buying something or winning something in good faith from Needy with the expectations that the pricing is fair and that the art would be complete and everything. That's not your fault. That is not your fault at all. You should be able to feel good about the model that you're using, and you should be able to do your streams as normal. So, I'm kind of feeling like it's hard because I chose to do the JoJo Siwa game because I wanted to do a very silly stream. But now I kind of feel like I am not in the mood to do a silly stream because of this whole situation. It just feels a little heavy. I was thinking about also maybe just doing PowerWash Simulator. I don't know what you guys are more interested in. I can do either one. I don't like doing this where I change the game I'm going to be playing midstream. But, you know, I really wanted to be silly while playing the JoJo Siwa game because it's a kid's game. I think Power Wash, Austin, is everybody good with me doing Power Wash? Because I'd really feel better, I think, doing Power Wash today. And that's easy for me to pull up because I already have it downloaded on my computer. Let's see. And today could be more of a chill Sunday. You know, just a relaxing Sunday. And I can still, if people have questions about my choices about this situation, you know, I can still talk about it a little more easily if I'm playing Power Wash. But it looks like Power Wash is it. So I am going to go ahead and switch. And there's nothing wrong with playing kid games in old age. I think kid games are fun. They're so goofy. Alright, I'm going to switch screens. We're going to do Power Wash then. And I am going to tiny myself a little bit. There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's see. And then my game capture. And there it goes. Yay. I don't know. So, question. Regular Power Wash or should I do Wallace and Gromit? I think, I don't think we did all of the, everything yet with Wallace and Gromit. You know, I missed the beginning of the dining room and kitchen when I did the stream. Yeah, Panda, you can join in if you would like. I think that would be fun. Let's see. Because in case you guys didn't know, Panda bought me Power Wash, the Wallace and Gromit Power Wash Simulator DLC. Wallace and Gromit is such a classic. Yes, Josie. Oh my gosh, I love Wallace and Gromit so much. They're so just, it's so adorable. I think if I play Wallace and Gromit, I have to do the dining room and kitchen first. Alright. So Panda's going to take a moment. He's going to join in and we'll just hang out a little bit. I think Wallace and Gromit was pretty vital to bringing back claymation in the best way possible, because the moon cheese episode, yes, the moon cheese episode, I love the moon cheese episode. All right, I'm gonna just change my category real quick. Power Wash Simulator. Okay. Okay. Power Wash. Yes, that's perfect. All right, I have updated PowerWash Simulator 2. I saw that. Okay, let me pull up Discord. I will call you.
Hi, honey.
Hi. All right, can you guys hear Panda okay? Wow, I think the I didn't realize that I had Discord or not Discord React Fujitech set up so you would show up right away. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So, let's see. Let's get started. I have to do co-op hosting once the job is started. Okay.
Yes. Chat-o-matic initiated.
All right. So, menu co-op on, confirm, invite friend. That would be Panda. Okay.
Okay, now the question is, how do I play game? Okay, there we go. And,
There we go.
Oh,
I heard a ding. There you are. Oh my gosh, this is even worse than I remember it. But then that's
yeah,
because when I came in and played it with you, I
Mm-hmm.
say, Wash lads, click off the blocks. When I came in to play it with you, you had already gotten a lot of stuff done in the game.
Yeah,
So
I already done like 20% of the job.
yeah. So let me change my. Okay. I love how popular PowerWash Simulator has become.
Yeah,
Like,
it's great.
it's such a... Okay, wait, let's see. What's Wallace saying? We should give some instructions, or who knows what will happen. Let's try. Command. Clean kitchen and dining room ASAP. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna change my nozzle again. I think 15 degrees is perfect. There we go. But it's such a nice game to be able to chat with people while you're playing. Yeah.
Some of my best streams like that have been PowerWash streams, although PowerWash has been because PowerWash has ultimately limited content, that has been supplanted by Civ Saturday.
Yeah. You wonder what caused this mess? I wish I knew, Austin. Because I don't know how something could get this messy. Because this is bad. Like, there is nothing that is not dirty right now.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, man.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, also, no, you know what, I don't think that's proper.
Okay.
But
I think the Wallace and Gromit music is so classic. It's hard to not want to start humming it. I'm like, oh no, if I start humming it, will I get dinged for it? But it's so easy. It's da 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 da. I don't think I watched the movie that's on Netflix, the latest Wallace and Gromit.
I don't think I have either. Maybe man, the list of movies we want to watch together just keeps on getting longer and longer every time we talk about it.
I know.
And we can only watch a few at a time.
Right. So Josie said it's soothing too. I might consider downloading the game. My fiance would definitely play this too. You know, I think that's the thing. This is one of those games that, like, universally, like, there's a universal appeal to it.
Yeah, everybody likes cleaning, whether they know it or not.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's satisfying. You clean,
Yeah.
and then it's clean, and it all looks nice.
Did I tell you about my 2 great cleaning rampages?
Oh no,
Okay.
no.
So, what I call them cleaning rampages, but usually they were just like caffeine fueled. I must do something things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so one of them was when I was in college. So I had the
Mm-hmm.
day off the next day, and I didn't have work, I didn't have school or anything like that. So
Mm-hmm.
what I did was I decided to go out to Denny's with some friends. I had
Mm-hmm.
some friends at the time who were part of a steampunk troupe,
Mm-hmm.
and they were really nice folks. You know, they were
Mm-hmm.
they were regulars at the GameStop I worked at too, so
Mm-hmm.
they were a lot of fun. Um, the So what happened was you know how Denny's diner coffee is. It's
Mm-hmm.
it goes down smooth, but it's it doesn't really have any body. It's nothing special.
Mm-hmm.
So so I got the Grand Slam breakfast.
Uh-huh.
Served all day. Why not? Um, and I had a coffee with it, and then I had another coffee, and another,
Mm-hmm.
and another.
Oh no.
The next thing I know, now mind you, we go to this Denny's at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
By the time we get done with this Denny's run, it's like 12 at night, and my parents are wondering where the hell I am and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, okay, well, and I'm like, okay, time to go to bed. It's that time of day, and I'm like, well, but I don't feel like sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, I look around at my room. My room was an
Mm-hmm.
absolute sty at the time, and so I'm like, well, no time like the present. So what I do is I spend literally the rest of the night, which was a good 6-7 hours, cleaning my room.
Oh no.
I spent 6 or 7 hours cleaning my room, and the next thing I know, my room is clean as a whistle. Not
Mm-hmm.
satisfied with that, I also cleaned up my clothes drawers as well.
Mm-hmm. So it wasn't just the outside stuff, it was actually like in drawers and
Yeah,
stuff
I
like that.
rearranged my drawers so all my clothes would fit and stuff like that. And I also marked some clothes to be donated and
Mm-hmm.
all that nonsense.
Right,
So
right.
that was cleaning rampage number 1. Cleaning
Uh-huh.
rampage number 2 was not caffeine fueled but jet lag fueled.
Oh no. Yeah, that'll
So
do it.
I had just come home from South Korea, and I'm jet lagged to hell and back, and so I'm like, well, I can't go out and I can't get anything to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And because, well, at the time I didn't have a car. So, because I sold my car to my sister before I left for Korea, I didn't know if it was going to be a one-way trip or not. And so,
Ah, right. Fair enough.
and yep, and so, I'm like, and so, well, let's do this. And so I go around, and my room didn't need any cleaning because it was pretty pristine. I had just gotten home, and so nobody had lived in that space for a year. Oh, sorry.
Ah, yes. Our wash lad's showing a clean pair of heels, eh, Gromit? No, I guess that's supposed to be Gromit.
Yeah,
The
the little
little
facial
emoji.
expressions are Gromit.
That's so cute. Especially
Clever.
because everything about Gromit is his facial expressions.
Mm-hmm.
Tad worried every corner will be covered, though, suggesting a teensy tweak. What's the tweak? Command, completely clean everything in the kitchen and dining room ASAP, please. Well, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. We're working on it.
We're gonna get it done. Somehow, some way.
Lots of dings.
Yeah, I'm trying to get above this cabinet here. Oh, there it goes.
There's a step stool here in the
Yeah. That's kind of fun
so,
to jump.
yeah. See, you can tell I've been playing was it Power Wash a little too much, because when I use the Power Washer in Crime Scene Cleaner, it's nowhere near as effective.
Right.
Number one. Number two, it breaks things. So.
Right. Yeah, I that's the big thing for me with Crime Scene Cleaner. I don't even touch the Power Washer really unless I absolutely have to. It just doesn't work right.
Unless it's a place I literally cannot reach.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's something I noticed too when I was okay, let me go backwards a little bit so I can
clean the kitchen. Yes, the kitchen is the place you must clean.
Yeah.
Must.
We do not need dirty kitchen.
Aspen and I have spent enough time together in each other's houses to know that we've cleaned. We've cooked and we've cleaned together.
Right.
So that is, I think it's safe for me to say that both of us cannot stand a dirty kitchen.
Right.
Didn't want to speak for you.
No. I think that's very true. I because human mother has ADHD and she forgets where things are. I often have to put up with a messier kitchen than I'm comfortable with. But, like, I know when I've lived alone, my kitchen counters would be pretty much empty, except for, if I had my dishes draining in a dish rack. Or, something that you usually would have out, like, like a knife block. But mostly I do my best to keep everything put away, because that way, if I want to cook something, I can pull out the appliance I need and there's space for it. And and then when I have to clean up, it's easier to clean up because there's nothing to get dirty except for the counter. So,
Yeah.
Plus, generally when I cook, and Panda can attest to this, I like to clean as I go.
Yes, that's the best way to go about it.
Yeah. I don't like cooking and then waiting until everything's done and then cleaning up afterwards. Part of it is because, it makes it easier for me to focus on what things I need to actually work on. Like, if I make my cookies, I'll take everything out. And then as I go, I'll put away the baking soda, because that helps me to know that I used the baking soda already. It helps prevent errors.
Yeah.
So, just to me, I think that's a better way to cook in general. And it makes it easier to keep track of, like if I'm cooking meat, like something that could, potentially be dangerous if not handled properly. I'll know what I did, and I'll know what I need to clean. Zoom.
I was actually very lucky today because originally I was supposed to be in town helping a friend build his computer, but he called it off last night.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, another bit of providence for us, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, I see a lot of ways how people handle stuff in the VTuber community, and when there's stuff like this that goes on, people do some pretty messed up things in response.
Yeah.
And, for me, I wanted to make sure I was taking, a measured response. I didn't want to, just hop on the bandwagon and be like, oh, you bad person, you. Like, I don't think that's a smart way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, am I disappointed? Oh, yeah. I'm very disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah.
you know, and something I always say to Panda a lot too when we talk is problems can be solved.
Yes.
And I think that this is a situation where I can make a very conscious choice to either, you know, be, you know, just hop on the bandwagon, or I can be somebody who makes a choice where I'm respecting myself and respecting
Mm-hmm.
other people, you know.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
I don't know what went through Needy's head. I don't know what she was thinking. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think she intended to be hurtful. I don't think most people, when they do things like this, necessarily go in with the intent to be hurtful. They just think that what they're doing is right and they're making the right choice.
Yeah.
And
Or at least how they were raised, you know?
right. They, you know, there's no guarantees in anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So,
you know, we can make bad choices and still not be bad people.
exactly.
But
Exactly.
it's how we handle those choices. And
Exactly. I
my
agree.
guess is the reason why she did things the way she did was because she was scared. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
get some fame, and then your fame suddenly tanks for some reason or another. Yeah, it's kind of scary.
Well, how do you think I feel? Look at how much I've been talking to you about my, personal paranoia at work, which I believe is being brought on
Mm-hmm.
by
Caffeine.
too much caffeine consumption.
Right,
Uh,
right,
but I mean, I've had enough times in my life where my paranoia is justified, but at the same time, it's also like, dude, I've got to,
right,
you start making money like that, and all of a sudden, it's like, yeah, all of a sudden, I can expand my lifestyle. I have to. I have people I can provide for, and
mm-hmm.
people I can look after, ambitions,
Right,
this, that, everything else.
right.
You don't want to lose that.
No, you don't.
So,
Oh, I should read
well,
the story beat just disappeared. That's okay.
yep.
But yeah, like, you know, I've had times when I've really struggled. You know, I've had you know, when I finished grad school,
Hmm.
um, I I didn't expect that I would have to go through 3 years of internships that aren't paid in order to do
Hmm.
my work that I studied
Hmm.
for, you know, college and grad school. I didn't expect it to be a situation where, you know, I would be, you know, and I was told in grad school, oh, yeah, you can find a paid internship. You'll be fine. Um, you know, and sure, in some states with my degree, it's easier to find a paid internship.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, the state where I got my degree, California, there's so much competition that it's easy for them to not pay you
Hmm.
because so many people want that licensure as a therapist
Yeah.
that, you know, they can be picky about who they
Hmm.
hire. And of course, here's part of the problem: the people that they hire are necessarily going to be people who have a second source of income.
Hmm.
And usually that's people who are married to somebody who makes enough money to cover both of
Hmm.
them,
Exactly.
or they're
Or maybe they're,
independently wealthy,
yep.
you know.
Or
And
maybe
the
their parents are wealthy, and they can,
right, right. And here's the
or
thing:
terrorists.
most of these internships that you do as a counselor, um, the people who you're counseling are not wealthy people.
Hmm.
So, in some ways, it's actually very important that you aren't so privileged so you can understand the needs of the people who you're serving.
Yeah, exactly.
So it becomes kind of hypocritical.
Hmm.
Um,
In a way, yeah, I can see where that would be.
you know,
Um,
because
my
how can they actually, you know, like for someone like me who has had struggles in life that can relate to people who are getting low cost and or free therapy necessarily because they don't have enough money. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
can understand their background a little bit better because I've lived it. Whereas, someone who's had, more privilege, they're not going to completely understand what those struggles are like because they haven't had that insecurity in their life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, speaking for myself, I am a guy who's had a lot of luck in his life, but never has really turned it into money. So, into monetary stuff. So, I've always lived with a scarcity mindset. And now that I actually am making a somewhat reasonable salary, stuff like that. It's below market value. It's consistent with my experience, but it's below market value for what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And but it's still more money than I've ever made.
Right.
And like I'm not used to that, you know, and stuff like that. So I can see where, like all of a sudden I do have the money to pay my bills. I do have the money for stuff like that. And a change like that is extremely unnerving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. So
So,
I guess ultimately to me it's like I think we should always have compassion.
hmm
You know, we should always, because I know one of the things Needy has talked about is that she's been homeless,
yeah.
and I have compassion for that. I've been on food stamps. And I've seen a lot of people, and I've seen how the system treats people who are struggling. Sometimes it's really bad.
Yeah. I mean, I would never wish homeless on some people, because it's like, dude, that's
Mm-hmm.
like the greatest thing. Like, it's subconsciously I've always kind of like prepared myself for homelessness just in case,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Right.
It's
Right.
like it's like I said to you when I was visiting you, and I said I wanted to when I was shopping for a car, I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking it might be, is this car going to be comfortable enough to sleep in?
Right.
You know.
Right. Okay. Oh, and Josie, you're from California too? Okay, cool. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not in California anymore. I live in the New England states. But yeah, I've spent much of my life in California, and I do miss it. But oh boy, is California expensive.
You can't wait to take me to San Fran.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I need this letter. I'm stealing this. See you later. Okay, wait, where can I put it?
It's like I
Oh,
used
come
to.
on.
It's like I say to people. It's like I say to like my sister does that, and I just go, "Bah." You know.
Yeah. I like to joke with Human Mother when she's like when she has some food out and like I take a piece or a bite or something. I'm like, I'll do on animes how they'll have when somebody stares at somebody else they'll literally say stare. Yeah, yeah. So I do steal. And she's like, you don't have to steal. You can have it. And I'm like, no, steal.
Stop taking the danger out of it, Mom.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, I'm doing this for fun. Hello.
I just wanted to go to Off-Kai, but I got saved for my trip to Vegas. Oh, Vegas! Wow. And in August, brave
Yeah.
soul,
Oh, yeah. I've
brave soul.
I've been to Vegas in June. I went. So this is actually an interesting story. So when I was in grad school, um, I went to Vegas with one of my good friends in grad school and
Mhm.
her identical twin sister, which, of
Oh wow.
course, that's going to draw a lot of attention. Identical twin sisters who are stunningly gorgeous, of course, because they're
In
both
Vegas.
just absolutely beautiful. And I was like, it was fun because we were just there to have fun because their birthdays were about a week before mine. So we were just, going for fun. And of course, we got attention, particularly them, because they're just these two gorgeous Iranian women. And, it was just like, can people, people always try to pull the what happens in Vegas thing. And it's like, no, just no. Like,
Don't be like that.
There's too many times in life when people won't take responsibility for their actions anyways. I don't need an excuse.
Or the hint.
Yeah. Like, me personally, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it intentionally. I'm going to do my best to do it intentionally. I make mistakes, but I will do my best to do things intentionally.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to do something that I'll feel ashamed of later.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And considering both of them were... and I think it was just the one who was my... between the twins, the one who was in my grad school class. I think she was the one who was engaged or was in a long-term relationship. And then I think her sister... I don't know if her sister was in a relationship at that time or not. But it was like... I don't know. We did have fun, though. We went to, there's a mall there called, like, the Fashion Show Mall. And there's a cool, like, underground mall that has this beautiful, beautiful ceiling. It looks like, like almost like a Renaissance art ceiling. And, but it's all underground. It's worth it going to that underground place because then it's all cold when it's all hot outside. Recommendations for Vegas. Do not walk anywhere. And I'm saying that as somebody who loves to walk, but everything is farther away than you think it is. You'll think, oh yeah, I'll get there in 10 minutes. No, it'll take an hour to walk there because everything is so flat. It's hard to judge distance. So you're probably going to want to, if you're going to be outside for any extended point, trying to go from one place to another, take a taxi or an Uber.
Yeah, take an Uber. You'll be... Oh, boy. I have some friends who I used to play a lot of fighting games with. And there's a big tournament in Vegas every year. It's Evo Championship Series. Okay. And like every single person I have ever talked to about it, it's like, dude, it's always hotter than hell's hinges in there. Just stay indoors. Just stay indoors. The games give you reason to stay indoors.
Right.
But for someone like me who doesn't gamble and also who is a recovering alcoholic, a place like Vegas might not be the best destination for me.
No, I wouldn't. Honestly, there's there's the shows. The shows are fun. But other than that, like when we didn't really gamble all that much because I'm not interested in gambling either.
No, I'm too sore a loser to gamble.
Yeah. And I'm too careful with my money to gamble.
Yeah.
But it felt so uncomfortable, that whole like the feeling of being in a huge room with all these people gambling with like just there's a certain weird creepy desperation to it. Yeah. That's just it doesn't feel good. So yeah, I'd say Vegas is a place to go if you have a convention you need to go to. If it's a work convention, if it's like a fun convention, whatever, not a bad place to be. Otherwise, yeah, I think there's some fun things about. There's some good food there. I will say that there's some decent food, but otherwise, I just, yeah, it's fun to go to once. and experience, just for the experience of it, because it's not completely awful.
No, it's not. It's just the kind of place that I don't think I would enjoy
Yeah.
because as we have grown to know of each other, we both enjoy, the quiet. We'd be just as
Yeah.
happy we'd be happier going to a museum than we would be like a big to do, you know.
Right. Right. Right.
Like, like I'm very uncomfortable at parties, especially parties that have alcohol with them
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
stuff like that. Like we had a school function um, around Christmas last year, and I was, and I felt my sobriety at risk, you know. And so I'm glad you were in my ear a little bit
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it was just nice to have you.
Yeah. Yeah. So Josie said she's going to Evo.
Oh, you're going to Evo, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like we call it E3 for fighting games because that's usually where the fighting game companies like Capcom and
Mm-hmm.
NetherRealm and SNK and Arc System Works will either announce brand new games or will announce updates to previous games. And I
Right.
am not entirely sure. What is it, like 5? I gotta ask my friend. Is it like 5, 6 years since Guilty Gear Strive came out? Maybe they're thinking of another one, but you know, I don't know. It's hard to say. All I can say is that I don't play those games anymore. So I traded fighting games for Civilization,
Yeah. I've never
which I'm
been too heavy into fighting games. I've always felt like
yeah,
I just have to like mash the buttons, and I never really get I never
never
really
get the stuff to come
get
out.
them right. So
Yeah, you never get the moves to come out right.
right,
Um,
right. Can I
yeah, the
put
thing
this
about
up
fighting
there?
games is that they do require, skill, timing, stuff like that. Street Fighter 6 has what they call a what they call modern controls where, you don't it's instead of like um a motion on the stick and a button, it's now like one direction and a button,
Mm-hmm.
which
Right.
can trip people up like me who've been playing those games off and on for years and years and years.
Right, right. Okay. How do I get the part of this door?
What part of the door are you trying to get?
It's this last cabinet drawer over here.
Hmm. Oh
Cause,
no.
well, at least I can get the top.
Hmm.
Okay, well that's done.
I
That's
haven't gotten
done.
everything in the dining room, but
Yeah.
gotta get more of the tracks, the toy train tracks.
Right, right.
It was so nice from Mystic to hear that I got Gromit's Wallace's cadence down,
Oh.
and they were teaching me how to play Crusader Kings. So maybe we will have
Right.
like Crusader Kings Tuesdays or something like that.
Right, right.
Like if I ever decided to take streaming full time, if I ever took leave of my senses like that,
Mm-hmm.
um, I would probably do like you know whatever I want Monday, Crusader Kings Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe take like Wednesday off so I can be with you, and
Mm-hmm.
then do like then like something the new Hotness Friday or something like that. Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
this is pending I was making enough money to buy new games and stuff like that, like play the new
Right,
Hotness.
right, right.
But as long as I like it, because I've said on Blue Sky how much my distaste for flavor of the week gaming,
Yeah, yeah.
and then Civ Saturday.
Uh-huh. Well, for me, it's I definitely do the Final Fantasy Friday.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
although, like, you know, like this past Friday, I was like, you know, this is time for me to do an interview with the authors. So I'm going to interview my authors because that's part of why I'm doing this.
Exactly. Exactly. Why should you? You know, that's all I can say. Why should you? You know, put Final Fantasy ahead of the reason why you're here. You know.
Right, right. And I can definitely, you know, do Final Fantasy anytime. So,
Oh yeah, Final Fantasy's not going anywhere.
no. But I've
I
been
gotta tell
consistent.
myself that. I gotta
Yeah.
tell myself that with games like, if I was to do like New Hotness Friday, one of
Mhm.
those games for me is Monster Hunter.
Mhm.
And oh jeez, I gotta take care of this cockamamie ceiling. Um, I don't have the money right now. I almost charged my credit card for Monster Hunter Wilds, and I told
Mhm.
myself, no,
No, don't do it. Put the card away.
you put that card away, mister.
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me,
Boom,
so help
boom,
me, so help
boom,
me,
boom,
so help me.
boom. We call ourselves a couple of dorks for a reason.
Yeah, yeah.
For those of you, normally I have Aspen on my channel, but yep, Monsters Inc. But for anybody who on this channel who hasn't met me before and hasn't seen me and Aspen together, then you're like, this is how we are all the
Yeah,
time when we're together.
yeah, yeah. We're just a couple of dorks. Couple of nerdy dorks who just happen to like each other a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some might say we love each other.
Yeah. I mean, considering, you know, usually we say I love you at least twice a day.
Yeah, at least.
But
And like,
we're those kinds of people too, where it's just we're not ashamed of expressing how we feel to each other. So
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
But you know, we also try not to over pressure each other either. Like you know, sometimes like if I have a problem, I'll be like, first I'll say like, I don't need you to do anything about this. I know what I'm gonna do, but I
Hmm.
do need to vent a little, so I'll vent, and then it'll be like, okay, and
Important thing for me is just showing support, you know?
right, right, right. You know, and Panda respects that. You know, and
Hmm.
I would respect that for him too. Like, you know, I try to be really direct with especially with people I love about whether I actually need help with something or not, or if I just need a moment to vent so that I can, you know, kind of sort it out without it being stuck in my brain. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
and that's really what it is most of the time. I just need to get it out of my brain sometimes so that I'm not
Hmm.
thinking about it too hard in my head and letting it just kind of take over my life, you know.
Yeah. Well, we have to, I've had my struggles and stuff like that, and I can't think of a better person than, than Aspen to be there with me through them and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I was struggling most of February. March hasn't been as much of a struggle.
Mhm.
But we have our tough months.
Yep.
February is a tough month for me because for about 6, 7 years in a row, I went through big life changes in February, um, mostly involving moving.
Right.
Am I gonna get this ceiling? Am I gonna get this ceiling?
Well, if slash when we move in together, if slash
Yeah.
when, let's not do it in February.
Let's not.
Let's do it sometime. You know, especially because we're in the East Coast. Let's do it sometime when it's not winter,
Yeah.
because it's easier to move when you're not dealing with snow.
Yep.
You know.
Potentially.
Right. Right. Train.
Because not this winter that just finished, but last winter was really, really mild. We didn't see any snow.
I did. I always
I know
see
you
snow.
did.
I
know you
never
did,
we never not have snow here in winter. Like if there was no snow here in winter, I would be severely concerned, and that would be a definite sign of climate change, and yeah, it would be bad. It would really be bad.
Yeah. But where I am, we're protected by the ocean. So the ocean can really mess with
Yeah.
us a bit.
Right.
Look
Yeah.
at the ceiling.
Good. What is this thing in the middle of the kitchen?
It looks like a Serpo It looks like a Serpo alien from Dandadan.
Or yeah. Or like it looks like when you go to like ice cream shops and it has like a little thing at the next to the sign that's shaped like an ice cream cone. Or
Yeah. I like those old school ice cream parlors. Like
yeah.
from the 50s and 60s and 40s and 50s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I love that retro stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
I talk about retro junk a lot on my channel because that's part of what I play is retro junk.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, you know what? I like this stuff. You know?
Right.
There's like a personality to it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everything's
It just
too-
has a vibe.
Yeah, like everything's too sterile these days, you know?
Right.
Like design for like anything and everything has gone out the window in the name of clean, minimalistic looks. You know?
Right. And like when it comes to like for me for interior decorating, I do like to keep the lines simple, but that's only so I have space to put the creative stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think what was it? There we go. That's what I was looking for.
Ah, you can jump up there and get stuff clean.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm not afraid to jump on anything. Not being afraid to jump on stuff is actually how I got myself in trouble playing Ghost of Tsushima the first time.
Oh, no.
Because I jumped onto a place I wasn't supposed to go, and then I couldn't get back down, so I ended up soft-locking the game and had to start all over again.
Oh, no.
Yeah. This was within like 20 minutes of me booting up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna try to... wrong button. Okay, there. Ooh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima was a really good game.
Yeah, I've heard it's so good.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it yet.
Yay,
the floor's done. The floor. Eee.
So I have a question for you, honey, that I've been meaning to ask.
Yes.
How are you with board games?
I like a good board game.
Okay. Like what kind of board games? Like the simple American stuff that we're familiar with? Or do you like the Euro board games?
Oh, I don't know. I'm a big fan of Clue, but I will never ever play Monopoly.
You're a big fan of Clue.
Yes, I will never ever play Monopoly.
Okay.
I've done some like some of those games where you where the games are half board game, half online.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Like Mansions of Madness. I've played that. I've done Gloomhaven. But usually I guess those are the kinds of games that are more like they're RPG, like simplified RPGs in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like stuff like that. I'll try just about. I guess that's the thing. I'm the kind of person who I'll try just about anything and see if I like it, and if I don't, then I don't, and if I do, then I do. Like, I'm always happy to try things.
Yeah, okay.
I'm definitely a trier.
I've definitely been doing a lot of work with, like, say, the, like, strategy games and, games that, board games that might require a little extra, chutzpah, like, say, Risk or something like that.
Right, right.
But there are games like Carcassonne, and then there's, like, the Civilization board game, and,
right. Like,
you know,
one of my brothers is really into, like, Catan.
oh, Catan, yeah.
Catan, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played Catan in so long.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's one that
complicated
he
game.
likes. You see, that is why I think that you and my younger brother would get along really well. I think there's some interests that you have quite a lot in common on. So,
Yeah.
the only problem is he's the one who lives farthest away. So it's going to be quite
I
some
figure,
time
right?
before you meet him.
Yeah. I know, right?
Right.
Um, but yeah, I was thinking of picking up the Civilization board game and seeing if we can dope that out together. Because I figure, like, you're a smarty pants. I feel like
Right.
Civilization might be a game you'd be pretty good at.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
So,
I would not mind.
yeah,
Ah, you got the door closed.
I did. I closed the door.
Kitchen oven
For your
door is
reason of
still a little
shut the
dirty.
door.
There we go.
Risk, yes, Risk. You never heard? Have you heard of Risk? It's like it's a really old board game, to the point where who's-ma-call it? Micro Center has copies of the '80s edition of Risk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, another really good game that's really simple but a lot of fun is Stratego.
Yes. No, that's
I was thinking about
okay.
picking up a copy of Stratego and seeing if we could play that together at some point.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yeah, we could do that.
yeah. The copy of Stratego that we had up at camp, I don't think survived the roof cave in. So, yeah. So my dad and I played Stratego a lot when I was younger.
Okay. All right. So what do we have here? We have
The toy train tracks.
kitchen cabinet doors. One is not done. Dining room curtains, kitchen cupboard doors. Two aren't done. Kitchen cabinet drawers.
Yikes.
Oh my gosh, this is the hard part.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I think I see where the problem is already. Or maybe not. All right, so let's see.
All right, here we
Kitchen
go.
cabinet door.
There we go. There's another big part. There we go. I got the train tracks. That's the biggest pain in the butt.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Also, all the best to Spooky Cat Kevin. He has been dealing with throat issues recently.
Yeah.
He said he was actually coughing up blood at one point. So,
Oh no.
yeah. So, it makes me sad.
Oh.
It makes me sad because I really
Yeah.
like Kevin. I think he's
And he has such a wonderful voice.
yeah, I jokingly say he's the Tony J of Twitch.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really hard. I think to me, that's one of the hardest things about streaming is that our voices,
There we go.
we have to take good care of our voices.
Take a beating. Yeah, our voices take a beating,
Like my throat was feeling sore yesterday, and I was like, is this because I'm sick, or is this because I read for an hour on my stream before interviewing the author? Like, kitchen plant pot. What is the kitchen plant pot? I think that's this one. There we
You
go.
got it. There you go.
And then we've got kitchen cupboard doors, kitchen windowsill.
windowsill, which is probably like right in front of you.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I see. I see. The picture needs a little TLC there. There we go.
Okay, the kitchen cupboard doors are over here that need to be
Right
worked
up here.
on.
Yep. See if I can.
Windowsill?
I got him.
Okay, auto chef head. Kitchen serving hatch and kitchen paintings.
Got it. Kitchen serving hatch.
Let me take care of the kitchen serving hatch. Wait a minute.
Right.
Nozzle. Okay.
Paintings.
There we go.
Got it.
Woohoo! Yay!
Yay!
Oh, Austin, how's Benny doing? Is he good? Okay, here, let's man. You did a good job, honey.
Yeah. I did. Well, we did what any good couple would do and split the duties.
Split the
I
work.
took care of the. Yep, I took care of the kitchen, the dining room, and you took care of the kitchen.
Right. And here, let's just. Do you want to continue?
Of course.
All right, let's keep going.
All right.
And it was kind of fun because last time you did the kitchen and I did the dining room, and then this time we did the other way around. So
yeah,
it was kind of neat to be able to do that. All right, I'm gonna start.
Board game geek. Okay. All right,
Ever so keen on this new contraption of ours, Gromit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me get this contraption here. It's the wrong trousers, Gromit, and they've
Neat.
gone wrong.
Need to make sure Washlad is on the right track. Now then. Okay. I'll do the 15-degree nozzle. Nozzle.
I do like how this DLC has been done with the utmost care and respect for the Wallace and Gromit IP.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think anybody expected this game to take off like it did. The first of the quote unquote simulator games, like, Goat Simulator and stuff like that.
Right.
Just the idea alone. It was partially because I had a really inflated opinion of what games should be at that time. And so I just kind of dismissed it as kind of a fob off. I'm like, they just made this game to take the piss,
Right.
And so it's like, I can't believe people are actually buying this stupid game and all that stuff. But really, I'd like to think it was Goat Simulator that really kind of kicked off this whole simulator genre.
Right.
Like, without Goat Simulator, we don't have PowerWash.
Right. Yeah. And, sometimes I like being proven wrong about certain games.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, that makes sense now that I think about it. Okay. I don't mind being wrong sometimes if it means I can be right later.
Well, let me put it this way. My sister doesn't buy very many games. The games she does spend time with, she spends all of her time with.
Right.
And so, Okami is one of them. PowerWash Simulator is another. And, but I can be sure that because of how particular she is with her games, whenever she looks for a game or, latches onto a game, I should say, she likes it. If she likes it, I know it's going to be something I'm going to like too.
Right. I mean, that makes sense. She has good taste in games.
She has very good taste in games. She asked for Okami without a second thought, and I'm like, oh, this is a good game. That artist that she is, she also absolutely adored it for the art style.
Yes.
I actually thanked Hideki Kamiya over Twitter. Now, for context, in case you don't know, Hideki Kamiya is a notoriously cantankerous, curmudgeon-y bastard. on social media. But I thanked him over social media for this is when, before Twitter had gone down the shitter, and I said, hey, thanks for thanks for working on Okami. It's one of my sister's favorite games. I got it for Christmas one year, and she absolutely loves it. He replied back with a smiley face, which is like the highest of compliments.
Right.
For a curmudgeon like Kamiya. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, that made my social media life. It was like I made Hideki Kamiya smile. I don't have to do anything else on social media.
Right. I've done my job. I did my duty. I've won the internet.
Yep. All right. I didn't get all the soccer machine. I can come back to it.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Do I get to do the doghouse this time? Because you did it last time.
Yeah, you can do the doghouse.
Yee.
I'm not going to take that from you this time.
Yay! I just didn't really get to like look at it all that much before last time.
Yeah, I kind of monopolized the doghouse last time, but that was near my starting position, so that's why I think that's why I went for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fine.
All right, I'm going after the doghouse.
I try not to press the tab button to highlight all of the stuff, highlight all the grime early on, because it's just basically getting douched in the face with yellow.
Yeah, true. It's almost
like,
blinding.
Flashbang,
Right. I just want to know what all this stuff is that the grime is.
Like, what is it? How did it come to be? Like, jeez.
Like, is it paint and mud and I don't know, something else?
Oh my goodness gravy. Okay.
It's nice to know I'm not the only one who does the like, oh, I'm just gonna say this word that's not quite a swear word, but it's satisfying enough.
Like douche.
Oh, like goodness gravy.
Yeah. Well, because I taught elementary school for as long as I did, I ended up training a lot of the swear words out of me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know this. I know this from having worked with kids myself. Like, you have to be so careful.
Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when Aspen swears in my presence, I'm like, oh, she must be mad. You know? This particular situation must have her pretty cheesed off at this point, because she is actually swearing. I didn't think it was possible for this fine lady to swear.
I know a lot of people who are like, when I swear, they're like, oh, something's going on.
When I worked at GameStop, my first manager was the mother of the region. Having been a mother herself, she looked after people. Like, she was the kind of person who would cut our hours if we weren't doing well enough in school, and I came back, and there was, I ended up, something had happened. I forget exactly what it was. Maybe I had a reserve cancel on me or something like that, and then I found the item that the customer was looking for, and I just go, and my manager looks at me, and she's like, that's the first time I think I've ever heard you swear. I didn't think you did swear.
Yeah, I get that a lot. But like, I like making up swear words. Like I say, oh, let's see, flarg. Flarg is one of mine. What else do I say? Oh, blorb.
Yeah.
Figwit. You know what Figwit is from, right?
No. Do
Okay.
tell.
Figwit is a Lord of the Rings reference.
Oh, Bigwit. Okay.
Figwit. Figwit.
Figwit.
It
Okay.
stands for Frodo is great, who is that? So there's a scene in one of the Lord of the Rings movies where there's an elf who is very handsome, and he shows up on the screen, and the idea is that they decide to call him Figwit because he's just so handsome.
Yeah.
Like Frodo's great. Wait, who is that?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I've used that as a swear word before.
Figwit.
Yeah. But you see, like, in my experience with kids, like, you can't even use the word weenie around a kid.
No, they'll giggle like it. Like children,
They'll tell on you if you say weenie. I'm like, it's not even that bad a word. Like, or shit. I think shit's okay. Like, shit's not a bad swear word. It's just, fecal matter.
Well, let me put it this way: if you can say it on the radio, you should be able to say it in front of people.
Yeah, but then again, some radio stations are different from others. I remember
Yeah.
when one of the radio stations where I lived was playing the Nine Inch Nails song "Closer" when it was banned from pretty much all the other radio stations.
Oh, okay.
So maybe it depends a little on the radio station.
Aha! There we go. That was what I couldn't find last time.
Oh, what was it?
The pond where
Oh, the flipping thing?
the flippy pond, yeah.
The flippy pond, yes. Do, 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 do. But yeah, I mean, working enough with children and then having a mom who didn't get mad at me if I swore, but it was just like she was very disappointed.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to disappoint my mom. But, like, I feel like, too, when people go off to college, it's like they feel like they have to swear about everything. And I think part of it is just because they're finally away from home and they're testing things out, like how they want to be an adult. And they're, like, trying all the things they were told they couldn't do. And then it's like, I don't know. Like, I have nothing against swearing. As long as it's, not being used against somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah,
I try not to be the kind of person where, like, words do hurt, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's also like, I'm trying to, there are words that press my buttons,
Right.
like, being, this is going to go into some territory here, but being bisexual as I am, there's a lot of people that would just assume that you're gay and trying to hide it,
Or assume that you're promiscuous and you're just
Exactly.
looking for an excuse.
And so, bundle of sticks, shall we say,
Yeah.
is one that really presses a button for me.
Right. Right. I didn't like when people were using the word gay as a slur.
Yeah, exactly. I actually scolded a kid in a GameStop for using it as a slur.
Mm-hmm.
His mom didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Like, his mom was right there. I called him right out. I said, "Do you know what you just said?" And his mom didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Probably because she's like, "Uh-oh, I'm dealing with a gay here."
Right.
And he's one of those militant gays.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I just, like, I think if you stub your toe and you say shit or fuck, I think that's totally appropriate. Because
totally
you're swearing at the situation. You know, you're not swearing at a person.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the situation.
I've actually snapped at my mom a couple of times. Like I closed like a drawer on my hand or something like that, and I start letting out a torrent of curses. I'm like, and like I shouted at her at least once. I'm like, I'm not allowed to be fucking mad at myself, you know? So,
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah, I'm not proud of that, but
Yeah, it happens. You know, we're all people.
it's a pain reaction, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Although my favorite thing is like from The Simpsons. Oh, fudge. That's broken. Fiddle-dee-dee. That will require a tetanus shot.
Fiddly dee. One of my favorite anythings on The Simpsons is the time when the Flanders kids are playing the board game with Lisa and Bart, and it's like a
Yeah.
Christian board game,
Yeah.
and you were supposed to like convert people as you played. And
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was Bart or Lisa, but one of them didn't fully convert somebody, and one of the Flanders kids is like, "Ha ha! You made a Unitarian." I always thought that was hilarious. Did I get everything in the kennel?
That's great.
Did I?
Let me see. Keeping an eye on the time because I am on dinner detail tonight.
Oh.
I'm making a porterhouse.
Oh.
Or cooking a porterhouse anyway.
Oh, is it from the meat that you guys had from that person who got too much meat?
Yeah. It was yeah, from the gent that had entirely too much beef. And
Yes.
we ended up getting some really good stuff. I'm like, did you grab the... I was like, did you... He's like, yeah. Dad says, yeah, I grabbed some chuck. I'm like, did you grab some short rib? Because what I was going to do was I was going to get some chuck and short rib, grind them together, and make some hamburger meat out of that. Nice and fatty. Alas, we didn't get any chuck. Well, we got chuck, but we didn't get any short rib. So...
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go through those chickens I got from my brother and cook them because I want my mom to stop buying canned chicken. It's so filled with sodium.
Yeah, yeah.
And if I can just, you know, like cook some chicken breasts at the beginning of the week and then, you know, keep them in the fridge and she can pull them out for a salad or, you know, whatever. I think that'd be a lot healthier. Plus, it's actually a chicken from a farm. Oh,
yeah.
I must say, Gromit, grand idea of yours giving Washlad a pair of pins. Legs, I'm supposing. With a spring in the step will make quick work of your filthy kennel roof. I already finished the kennel roof. Wallace.
I was gonna say, if you have like full chickens and stuff like that, and if they have some giblets and stuff like that, I could make the same meal that I did for Canadian Thanksgiving last year.
I probably do. I know that they're entire chickens. I don't know if they have the giblets in them though.
Yeah, is it like head on? Do I have to like?
Oh no, the head is not on.
Okay, good.
They've been taken to a local butcher company that will, you know, put them in shrink wrap for storage in your freezer.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, for context for the viewing audience, I have long wanted to make Thanksgiving dinner for my family. Unfortunately, I've got to get in line behind other people in my family, mostly my two cousins, because basically one of my cousins has been basically training from birth to be able to do this. You know, she was a nanny for years and years and years before she got a kid of her own. And now, because her husband has a pretty good job, actually a very good job, you know, they want for nothing monetarily, and so she can stay at home and stay with my and help and raise my little cousin, you know, being a stay-at-home mom, stuff like that. But she has also been in the kitchen quite a lot to try and maybe not usurp, but eventually inherit Thanksgiving and Christmas, for the family and stuff like that. And then there's my cousin, the elder cousin, who lives down in Georgia. She is also a very good cook. She's also probably the best cribbage player I know. So, she's the one person in my family that I have not played in cribbage. One, due to lack of opportunity. Two, because if I played her, I probably would explode, Mortal Kombat style.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how, like, almost every family has somebody who is just like that with games? It's not just that they're good with games, but it's how they play them that's so infuriating, which is why I don't play Monopoly.
This family member is beyond brutal. She is so cutthroat in cribbage. Mm-hmm. She will rip your head out and serve it to you on a platter. You know? Yeah. She is just that good. One of my aunts is just straight up lucky. You know, maybe you'll meet her this summer. Mm-hmm. But I'm talking devil's own luck. At least once a game of cribbage, she plops down her cards and goes read them and weep. So, but who is it? These two cousins are vying to do Thanksgiving, and here I am, the Johnny-come-lately, who didn't even touch a skillet until he was in his 30s, and
now you're like, I want a turn.
Yeah, I'm
Let
like,
me
hey,
have
wait a
turn.
minute.
I want
Hey,
turn.
wait a minute. We're keeping no. We're not going to another friggin' state for this. We're keeping it in the Bay State, ladies and gentlemen. And so we are keeping it in the land where we drop all of our R's. So I've been, you know, I shouldn't say on the sly, because there's a lot of stuff that I haven't been shy about saying, I want this, I want to do this, stuff like that, to the point where I kind of forced myself into the Christmas conversation with my charcuterie board, and I became Mr. Charcuterie.
Yes.
It's
one of the things that I think is really adorable about you. You with the charcuterie.
Yes. I don't know why charcuterie in particular. Maybe it's because I don't necessarily have to cook anything. Maybe it's because it allows me to focus on aesthetics, which I'm good at. But but I still want to cook. I still want to cook for Thanksgiving. So I'm like, well, I talked to my mom about it. I'm like, well, what can we do about this? I really want to try this. And she said, why don't we do Canadian Thanksgiving? Which is just so happens to be the same weekend as it's the second Monday in October, I believe.
Yes.
So same day as Columbus Day / Indigenous Peoples Day, however you prefer to call it. And I did that for Sunday dinner in October, and my parents said I prepared it my way. I had Mom in the kitchen as a wingman, and when we finally sat down and all was done, they said that's one of the best chickens we've ever had.
Nice. And
it was a whole chicken that I prepared.
Nice. You see, I don't mind this because I'm more of a baker than a cook.
Yeah.
I find baking really relaxing, but I find cooking, like, I feel like I have to concentrate really hard.
Yeah. In a way, you kind of do, you know. Unless you've done a recipe so many times, you can do it blindfolded. You
Right,
know.
right. And some recipes are pretty simple,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Like I find a lot of the recipes that I make it's all in the prep. You know,
mm-hmm.
like
Right, right.
with my big boy macaroni and cheese that I make, which is on a binging with Babish recipe.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this is a recipe that like it can take like 45 minutes to an hour to prepare because you know what you're doing most of the time? You're just grating the fuck out of cheese.
Right, right.
You know?
And while you
There's
could
like
get this pre-shredded cheese, it's also got other stuff in it. So,
mostly
it's
anti-clumping
cellulose
agents.
and what?
Mostly anti-clumping agents.
Yes, like cellulose and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like dust that they put on it so it doesn't stick together.
Yeah, exactly. And we want our cheese to kind of clump together and stuff like that. So I
We
made
want
it with
our cheese to be pure cheese. The real
yeah.
stuff.
We'll go someplace where there's cheese, Gromit.
The Wensleydale.
Wensleydale? Yes.
Wensleydale.
Ah, good. I'll have some of that. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant me, Mr. Wensleydale. The Monty Python cheese shop sketch. Do you have any cheese in this? Do you have any cheese? Not much of a cheese shop, is it? Finest in the district. And what do you base that on? Well, it's the cleanest, but certainly the most uncontaminated by cheese.
So Austin just says Aspen cooking in Hell's Kitchen. The thing is with Hell's Kitchen, the problem isn't that I'm a bad cook. I'm a good cook. But because I'm a baker first, I tend to go for precision. So I want the measurements to be just right. And there's some things like I know you can fudge around, like the amount of garlic is usually, you usually double or triple it, depending on the recipe. But like I'd probably do just fine in terms of putting out something that tastes decently good. The problem is I would stress myself out the entire time for no good reason at all.
Exactly. All in the meanwhile, you've got Gordon Ramsay, by all accounts, a lovely chap, putting on his character, for the cameras and all that. Like MasterChef might be more your speed.
Right. Are the kids version.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, I'm 12. I just, I actually was my adult height at 12 years old, so I can just be like, yeah, I'm just tall for my age.
Yeah. So yeah, it's I think I do enjoy Hell's Kitchen. I do enjoy the Gordon Ramsay cooking shows. I enjoy the British Kitchen Nightmares much more.
Mm-hmm.
Because the British Kitchen Nightmares is actually he actually goes into like the business side of things, and it's like, he's passionate, but he's not like like you can tell Gordon Ramsay's very passionate about what he does, just the way he bounces around and does the pee-pee dance whenever he's explaining something. But the thing is, it's like, he for one job, you actually have people that maybe want to get better, and or at least make an attempt to get better. It isn't like the typical American reality show formula where there's the forced tears, and then there's the tragic backstory that nobody knew about, and the family comes together and this and that and everything else before going back to their old ways as soon as Gordon leaves.
Right. Well, there's that. Oh, and Austin said he's been in. So, Austin, you've been in one of the Hell's Kitchen restaurants before? Is that what you mean?
Oh wow, do tell.
Yeah, like I remember that one Hell's Kitchen episode with that husband and wife, and they were just awful. They were so terrible, and Did I get the... I think I got the trim over here. But, like, that... Like, sure, you're gonna... I think people sometimes go, like, apply to be on Hell's Kitchen for the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Like,
Like,
they're gonna be called out for bad practice. You know? Like, it's gonna be what happens, you know?
yeah.
And,
Oh, in
it's...
DC, okay.
In DC, alright.
Right. Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Very jealous.
Okay, anything else on Preston I need to get? Preston, don't lie to me. Oh, there we go. Good boy. Good dog. Good Preston. I think I got everything on
You know
Preston.
who we haven't really seen? We've done this DLC, a fair bit of this DLC, and we haven't seen much of anything of Feathers McGraw.
Right.
Unless he's hiding somewhere and I totally missed him.
No, I don't think I've spotted him. I don't think I've spotted him. With my very, very bad British accent.
Alright, making some headway here. Suck-o-matic. Sucka!
Have you watched Avatar: The Last Airbender? Not the movie, that doesn't exist, but the
I was gonna
cartoon.
say, I think it's understood that we are talking about the cartoon, not
Yes.
the movie.
Yes, yes.
It goes without saying.
Yes.
The not for a long time.
But you've watched it. I feel better.
Not for a long time.
I feel better.
And the thing is, I was in college at the time it came out, so I was, so you know, my time was not. It was not always my own.
Right.
Like
right.
a lot of times when, you know, now to be perfectly honest, I didn't go out of my way to watch it, you know. But that said, I was aware of it. I knew all the jokes. I knew how good it was. And I'm like, yeah, it was. I'm like, yeah, this show's good. I dismissed it as you know, an anime wannabe when it first came out. But then I'm like, but then I actually watched it, and I'm like, wow, this is actually a really good show.
Right. Right. You know, it's kind of interesting how people kind of want to gatekeep what counts as anime and what doesn't.
Oof, anime fans are the worst at that.
Yeah, yeah.
For that, excuse me.
And it's like, the whole thing about anime, though, is it started because of Disney.
Yeah.
So, like, let's be real here. Just because it's Japanese doesn't make it any more or less legit than, you know, other countries making animation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The thing is, I've actually said to people that my, you know, now that I've actually lived in Japan and stuff like that, my weeaboo tendencies my latent weeaboo tendencies were tamed, and now I basically like almost never watch anime anymore. Not because I don't like it, but because I'm like, hey, I got a taste of the real thing, you know?
Right, right.
I got a taste of Japan. I lived in quote unquote real Japan, as I called it. You know, I lived in not the sticks, but like as close to the sticks as you can get without actually being in them. You know. There's whoa, yeah, all right. yeah, it's that you still want to go to Japan. Hey, it's great for tourists, but if you want to live there, um, as a foreigner, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's a very isolating experience. Like the xenophobia that you will see from Japan is like the most is more patronizing than it is like angry xenophobia like you
Mm-hmm.
would see here in the States. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's more like, oh, you just don't know.
You don't know any better. You know.
Yeah. You're just that ignorant foreigner who doesn't know things.
Yeah, exactly. It's like this ignorant foreigner doesn't know anything. Don't be nice.
They
Let's
just
be nice to
probably
him.
watched too many animes and thinks that that's real. And
Yeah, exactly. Now, to be perfectly fair, I made some very good friends that were not part of that mainstream. You know,
mm-hmm.
one of the first things I did when I was in Japan was I played fighting games with total strangers, and they welcome and because I was playing Virtua Fighter, a pretty obscure fighting game, they let me in right away, and they were exceedingly kind. And
Mm-hmm.
one of them, well, actually, one of them I haven't heard from in years. I hope they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is Butaniku. She she was a friend of mine, and she actually greeted me in the arcade and gave me one of those oi ocha. You know those oi ocha drinks you can get in Japan, like
I'm
a
not
green
sure.
tea thing you can get
Oh,
for like
yes.
a
Yes.
hundred yen.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, she gave me one of those as an omiyage for joining for coming to Japan,
Mm-hmm.
and I also met some other people and stuff like that. Met
Mm-hmm.
some other people. It was a lot of fun. It was like they treated me like I'd known them forever. And then
Right.
I go to the hospital and stuff like that, and they're not, and they treat me a little bit differently
Right.
until I get one that actually speaks English, and he actually diagnoses me properly, and he's like, yeah, you got a herniated disc in your back. you know
Right. Right. And I think that's kind of the thing where it's like people have an idea in their head. Because I've lived outside of the U.S. too. I lived in the Netherlands for 4 months,
hmm
and we get this idea in our heads about what we think things are based on
hmm
caricatures, really.
yeah
Like that, it's not really based on what's actual. It's based on like when you meet somebody with a French accent, it doesn't always sound like ooh yee like they
hmm
don't all sound like that
hmm
because there's multiple French accents for one, and for two, a lot of that was made up for 1950s 1960s Hollywood and just isn't accurate at all.
yeah, my I can say that my French tutor does not sound like that.
Right,
I can say
right,
that with 100% certainty.
right. I mean, my former sister-in-law, hey, move your feet. Move your feet. Move your feet. Move.
Ah, dance before you die. Dance. They just start ballroom dancing.
Ballroom blitz. I'm well aware. Yeah,
Oh boy.
yeah. I think it's just when we travel, it's always good to go with some hopes, but not a lot of expectations.
Yes, yes. Um,
And the hopes should be related to just cool places to go to. They shouldn't be
I
related
think,
to how we expect people to behave.
speaking for myself, I think a big thing that really got me was latent um, mental illness that really started to manifest by that time. Because
Mm-hmm.
my bipolar didn't manifest until I was like until I was almost 30.
Right, right.
And it's like, and it really started to manifest badly when I was in Korea. Like, I'd have these horrible mood swings and stuff like that.
Right, right.
And I think that really affected my first year. But then I went and got help, which my dispatch company said, that's why you're still here, is you talked to us and you got help.
Right,
So
right, right.
so I still owe my boss a update on how I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause, I thought I'd lost his email address, but I found it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You finished everything over here?
Yep. Pretty much everything
All right.
to go is up top
Just the
on the
house.
second floor.
Oh boy. Okay. There was
Want me to take the
a
heights this time,
ladder,
honey?
right? Yeah,
I got the
you
ladder
can
over
take
here.
the heights. Okay.
I'm afraid of heights if I'm not in an enclosed space.
Yeah.
Like, if I like it, like if I'm in a plane, I'm perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm. I like heights. I'm very weird that way. I guess there's a reason I'm a dragon. But now, given I think we should height responsibly, I'm not going to
Yes.
do something dumb, but I've been bungee jumping,
Ooh. You're braver than me, honey.
Well, part of the reason is so I was very nightmare prone as a kid. And here, I'm going to cut up the ladder too. And
Oh, excuse me.
it's okay.
Sorry.
No, I think that was my fault. But oftentimes in dreams, what would happen, it was a pattern, is if I was in a situation when I was having a nightmare, the way I would get out of it in the dream was to jump from a high place and land on my feet. So for
You
me,
actually landed?
yeah. So it was always a positive thing that I could jump and land on my feet. So, and I kind of think about that in just day-to-day life too, that it's kind of a symbol of, it's okay to take some risks. And because, you're not always going to be, it's not always going to be dangerous. You may land on your feet. It may be a good risk to take.
Yeah. I think it's a good thing. But I've had so many instances where the nightmares were like legitimate, like nightmares where I'm in an out of control car.
Right.
Or,
I've had
like
some of those.
where like the road is like impossibly segmented or something like that. Somehow I got onto a part of an unfinished highway over water,
Right.
And in the dream I can actually, like, the dream is so lucid, like I can actually feel myself hanging on for dear life.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Okay, we're at the 99%
As long as I'm not
part.
dreaming as long as I'm not dreaming of pink elephants or heffalumps and woozles, I think I'm okay.
Right. Oh, and I will mention this. If you're afraid of heights, do not feel ashamed. It is the most normal phobia to have. Like 75 to 90% of people somewhere in there are afraid of heights. It is absolutely normal.
Yeah.
And
I'm also afraid of heights because of so many times that I've felt like, I've had thoughts of ending it and jumping from a high height. So.
Yeah. Well, some things become kind of symbolic to us. Like, the symbolism of, you know, what this means to us, you know, and you know, sometimes there are things you just don't want to be around. You don't want to be triggered by
Yeah.
them. Okay.
We can get that house bay. Austin, you're scared of heights? Yeah, that's normal. You know, it's cool.
Yeah, I'm the weird one. Like, you guys, seriously, I'm the weird one in this situation. It's not you. Like, when I sleep in a bed, I like it to be high. I don't like beds that are on the ground. I feel very uncomfortable.
Oh, shoot.
Let's see. House bay, porch gutter, garage wall, garden
All
planter
right.
kennel light cord.
Try to do it this way.
Okay, the kennel. I need to go inside and deal with the lights.
Can I pick it up? Yep. I'm thinking after dinner I might play some Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri.
Nice. Okay.
Otherwise known as Smack.
Smack. Porch pots. Shopper 13 clipboard clip. What is that? What is the Shopper 13 clipboard clip? Is that somewhere in here?
Okay, house bay front. That one's gonna be a little difficult to get to. Oh, porch pots.
I don't see anything that looks like a clipboard.
Ghost hunting at the Conjuring House.
Probably. I would not mind doing that.
See,
I've thought about that.
One thing I've learned about Aspen is that she's extremely adventurous, and I actually really like that about her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm weird that way.
No, I wouldn't say weird. It's like, you know...
Oh, people don't expect it of me. Like, people think, oh, she likes to read books. She's just cozy. And then next moment, I'm like, I'm going to go on my own on a trip to New Zealand and go bungee jumping. And then they're like, whoa, wait, that doesn't sound like the Aspen I know. I'll be like, no, you just weren't paying attention. Clipboard clip.
Like, oh, Aspen's just Grace from Gabriel Night.
Right. Okay, let's see. What else needs to be done?
Door frame cells, okay.
I'm thinking it's all house stuff. Okay. Garage.
I watched that clip where Grace is like, you know what else they say? No. That was, I watched that clip about, I'm so glad Wit made that and I didn't have to hunt it down myself because...
Garage lintel, garage door. Okay, we only have 5 more things to go. House bay, window frames, garage wall.
Here.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. Woo! House drain pipe. Okay. Which one is the drain pipe? This one? No.
Okay, let's see.
Drain pipe. That one's on me. Come on, there we go. Okay, house bay front, which is way up there. House window lintels. Oh, those things up there, okay. Garage wall.
House Bay
All right.
front.
It's way up there.
Ah, up there. Oh, we need here. Nah.
Ready,
Okay.
aim, fire. I've got an idea.
What?
Get on top of the soccer shooter.
Oh. Okay.
It kind of works. It kind of works.
Yeah. Here we go.
Oh, you got the extension.
Yeah.
I didn't have it. Yeah.
Oh, you don't have the extension?
I didn't. I keep on forgetting that's a thing.
You should buy it right now.
Yeah, I should. Oh my goodness. I'm not entirely sure how long it'll take to get that porterhouse taken care of.
Yeah, yeah. We can stop here.
Yeah,
This is
I
a
think
good
that's a
time
good
to
time.
start.
This is around
Yeah.
usually only stream for about 2 hours, right?
Yeah, usually 2 to 3, depending, but I can do 2. I'm good with 2.
I mean,
All right.
if you want to keep on going, be my guest. But
Right,
I
right.
believe that I have to get out of here and prepare that porterhouse.
Yes, yes. And I don't want to keep you from your delicious cooking. Yeah.
Yes. It looks like taking out the fire. Okay, so
All
I
right.
shall leave the co-op game.
Okay.
Now, the next job I think we should do co-op as well because it's a big one. Remember how much time we spent on it?
Oh, the Knit-O-Matic.
Yeah, that one took forever.
That one was long.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was really long.
Yeah, that would take at least an hour, I think.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, you are welcome to take your leave.
Okay.
Thank you for joining me today and for
Absolutely,
making
as
this,
always.
being supportive. It's
Yeah.
just been a bit of a rough weekend trying to figure out all that stuff, and I always want to be my best when I stream, but when things like this happen, it's like this is not good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
In
So-
case anybody wants to say hello,
Yes.
just click on my name, Panda Hero Roo. I have a bunch of VODs available. I highly recommend our Gabriel Knight series that Aspen, Ocha, and I have done together.
Oh, they're so silly.
Yes, it's actually a really funny thing. I'm putting together highlight reels for it, but I just gotta actually sit on down and do it without being distracted by all the other lovely games I have on my PC.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many games to play. Like, I think you
Oh.
have just as many games on Steam as I do. When I was looking at all your games, I'm like, oh yeah, too many games. I feel
Yeah.
like I started streaming so I would actually play those games, and
You
what
too?
ended up happening is I ended up with more games than when I started.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I will talk to you soon, Aspen.
All
Maybe
right.
sooner than you think.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, I'm gonna click change to just chatting again. So yeah, I feel good about making a decision. About here. Let me just do this real quick. I have to disconnect the call. Okay. I feel good about the decision I'm making. I get to, if things work out with Ocha, I get to hire a friend and give them some business, so that feels good. it's so unfortunate, this whole situation. And again, I think Needy probably went into this thinking she was doing something good. I think, she probably had some good intentions, and then things went kind of sideways and started falling apart. I try to always be respectful of people. Am I upset? Heck yeah. I'm really upset. I'm more upset about the casual disregard of another culture's beliefs than the money side. I don't expect she's ever gonna have enough money to pay everybody back. I think that it's just, that's something that we're going to have to just, ignore. We'll have to let go of that. But yeah, let's see who we can raid today. If you guys have any suggestions, as always, I'm happy to consider. But let's see. Who is streaming that is cool? Somebody who I have not rated before is Janae. Janae's really cool. I haven't interacted with her much lately, but she is a pretty cool person. She's playing Tengoku Struggle. Yeah, let's go say hi to Janae. All right, I am going to switch to raid. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Take good care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Always be kind to yourselves. And let's go say hi to Janae and be nice. And give her some love. All right. So I'm going to start the raid right now. I am going to sign off. Bye, everybody.